Hi, this is Dennis with CFO, and I'm going to take a look at a couple of different things today in Sage 100. I had a question about how many different levels can we track cost at, and how does the time and material billings work. So we're going to dive in here pretty quick and pretty fast. So here's a job, it happens to be a roofing job. So we have a job number. It's kind of grayed out here. So we have job 18. And under that, I can track phases. So if I have different buildings, or different floors or different rooms. It's up to you how you use this, but we can actually track revenue and cost by job, by phase. And then if I look at the budget, there's the budget for building 13. These are the cost codes. This is my material budget, my labor budget, obviously equipment, subcontract, and others. So these are the budgets, but obviously we can track the cost at the same level. So we have job, phase, cost code, and then 5 different cost types standard. There are optional ones, but we don't encourage you to use them because the reports usually don't pick those up. So those are the levels. So you got job, phase, cost codes, and then underneath that, cost types. And even on the cost codes, I'll show you a report that some of our clients like. Let me just bring this up real quick. So within the cost codes, you can actually assign cost codes to a division. So we'll take a look at the division number 2 here, which is site work. Here's all of the cost codes that I've assigned to division 2. So I can get reporting against the budget by cost code, but I also can subtotal it by division. So if the guys in the field aren't being careful, they may charge something to 2,600. They should have charged at 2,200. At least they're in the right division. So in the end, it kind of shows you the right totals. These lines could be potentially off of bad coding, but in this case, when we look at it by division, we may look okay. So there's that. And so then time and material is a really, really powerful module that we have. You have the ability to set up a T&M billing for each job. And within that job, let me just go pull up a quick one here. So hang on a second. Find my one right here. So this is Roger's crew, okay? And I set this up for a specific job. I can charge out different rates by employee, or I can have different rates by cost code. So in this case, every time anybody charges to 1,040 supervision, I bill 50, 75, or 100 for double time. Anytime anyone charges the demo labor, then I bill out at these rates. So once this is built, it's locked to the job, so that job always has those rates associated to it. And we can do the same thing on equipment. And then within the job, this happens to be job number 12. It's kind of grayed out, but you can see it up there. It has Roger's crew assigned to it. And then for material, I have 22% markup, 15% for overhead, and 5% for profit. Now, some of our clients just take it all and show it all as markup. Some don't show the markup. They just show the price marked up already and don't show the line item for markup. It's your choice. And then we can default it to which income account we would like this to go to in our general ledger. So again, each job can have its own wage rates, and each can have its own equipment rates. And each job has its own markup, so you don't have to remember them. The system will remember that for you. So if I go into print, and you'll notice, if you're not familiar with Sage 100, we never give you one way to do anything. We always give you lots of ways. So here's a T&M invoice that's going to be landscape by cost type with the employee hours and the cost code, or the hours. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this up real quick. So there is all my material invoices, all my labor invoices for this job. If there were phases, it would show the phase. There's the cost amount. And there's my markup. So this one just had one rate of markup for this job, okay? So there's one way of looking at it. The other way is to look at the same answer, but look at it by cost code rather than cost type. I'll give you 1 second. So here's all of my job expenses for the same job, but now sorted by cost code: framing labor, rough hardware, rough framing, a list of the invoices, the hours, and the billable rate. It comes down there. And if I come down a little bit further, it'll just take that markup and put it in the bottom rather than doing the landscape version where it shows it as in columns. It basically just adds that markup or overhead or profit at the end. So multiple ways to create this thing. These are customizable. They're pretty easy to change, but you'll see that we have a lot of different ways to look at this. Okay. Again, cost type or by cost code. There's a worksheet. There's a parts invoice detail. All of these are standard in the system. So definitely T&M is one of the powerful pieces of Sage 100. Again, with customization, obviously on rates, customization on markups, and customization on how the invoice actually looks and feels to the client. So that's a quick overview, but hopefully you've seen that there's a lot of levels to capture cost and a lot of ways to get that captured cost onto a time and material billing so that it suits what the client's looking for, makes it easy for them to understand so they can pay you quicker, and that's what it's all about, right? Anyway, it's Dennis with CFO on the go. Hopefully this was helpful. My phone number is 800-659-5851. This is video 200 and something. I've lost complete track because I just like doing these. If you ever have a question and you can't figure it out, shoot me an email and I'll make a video for you and we'll just throw it out there with the rest of them. Anyway, thank you for listening.